In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons you should start painting, or paint more often. Hi, my name's Jess, and I want to share with you a sensory blending experience that may change your perspective. And as we unfold these reasons, here is a time lapse of one of my paintings. Be sure to stay till the very end for the best reason. Reason number 1, because it's good for your soul. In a world that consistently demands our attention and forces us to use our analytical thinking day in and day out, we get stuck in a rut and we tend to only use one portion of our brain. The side of our brain that is starving is the imaginative side, the curious side, the creative side. Painting helps open our minds to the possibilities and helps us to create this optimistic attitude that doesn't only just carry on in your painting, but also in other aspects that are really unexpected. Over time, I feel more anxious when I neglect the things that bring me joy because I think there's lack of time. And when I really think about it, it's not lack of time, it's lack of planning on my part. Painting helps quiet the mind and allows you to focus on one thing, no matter what your skill level is, because skill can be learned and developed. There is a secret realm that anyone can enter and benefit from, which brings me to my second reason, and that is entering the flow state. It's a mental state of mind which a person performing a relaxing activity such as painting is fully immersed in a feeling of energized focus with full involvement and enjoying the process of this hypnotic state of mind. And one of the easiest ways to enter this state is, well, to paint. I think what I love most about the flow state is that it sharpens my focus and I really am more productive in other things in my life because I'm training my brain on how to hyper-focus on one thing. Painting is a meditative act and it takes you out of yourself, freeing yourself from your physical limitations, because really we're only limited by our own imagination. And ultimately, imagination influences everything that we do, regardless of our profession, from the way we interact, think, feel, and create. It allows us to understand ourselves and process our emotions. Another benefit of art is that it encourages creative thinking. This also enhances problem-solving skills, which we'll touch on later. And because there's no wrong answer in art, it inspires me to imagine my own solution. And this type of flexibility in thinking stimulates our brain and prepares it for complicated functions in the same way that learning a new language does. Art doesn't always require thought. It can be a free-flowing creative process. To practice mindful art, it's allowing myself to let go of any stress that I may be holding and release it into something physical in front of me that I can touch tangibly. Staying fluent in the flow state helps me to hyper-focus on other things in life that demand my attention. When it seems like so many different tasks are pulling me in all different directions, it helps me to prioritize which one is the most important and tackle that first, and then go to the next task, and then go to the next task, and simplifying all the tasks. Which brings me to my next point, and number 3 is painting boosts your self-esteem. Painting is the visualization of taking something that's very complex and detailed and complicated and simplifying it down to its most basic elements and shapes and values. Painting allows for an emotional release because it stimulates the creative side of your mind while focusing your attention in one place, which actually lowers anxiety. Another way painting boosts your self-esteem is that it improves your communication skills. There's many different ways to communicate, and verbal communication is just one of them. When you work with shapes and colors and textures on a regular basis, you increase your nonverbal vocabulary, learning how to share ideas, create feelings, capture memories, or imagine different worlds, all without words. As you develop as an artist, you might find that powerful emotions and personal experiences are easier to communicate through your art. I think hobbies are an important part of nurturing our mental health and well-being. And there's something instantly that sparks joy and gives you something to be passionate about, as well as giving you something to focus on instead of your daily worries and stresses. Painting can help us deal with those feelings by giving them a physical shape and a place where they can go outside of you. This is why psychologists often describe art therapy for patients who've suffered psychological trauma, and it helps to release emotions in a safe, non-threatening environment. And by learning to express yourself through a medium such as art, painting can be an act of self-care that supports your emotional well-being. Which brings me to reason number 4, and that is, it builds your problem-solving skills. Although we try our best and try we do. Sometimes our painting don't always go as planned. Changes in the light, the limitations of our palette, or just plain old lack of experience and technique mean that what you start out trying to achieve sometimes doesn't come to life the way you expected it. And yes, this can be frustrating and disappointing, but it turns out this is actually good for us. Unexpected results have 2 benefits. For starters, you quickly learn to deal with disappointment. And in time, you start to realize that when one door closes, another one tends to open. You quickly learn to adapt and come up with creative solutions to the problem the painting presents. And this means that thinking outside of the box becomes second nature to the artist. Creative problem-solving skills are incredibly useful in daily life and means you're more likely to be able to quickly come up with a solution when a problem arises. Not only is this skill extremely valuable as an adult, I think it's even more crucial that we teach our children this at an early age, and it helps them come up with creative solutions right off the bat, and it becomes second nature to them. Which brings me to my last and final reason, and I think is the best reason, and that is painting brings us closer together. Art is a journey better traveled together, and for all the reasons mentioned, more minds are better than one. The art community is a space for everyone at all skill levels. It's a place to grow, share your skills and knowledge, and a place where we can communicate through a different language, where what we're trying to say comes across in a feeling rather than words. And like many introverts, it is difficult for us to express how we feel sometimes and voice our opinion. Creating art can really help us in this aspect. I hope you've enjoyed this painting as much as I did, and also these art talks. They were fun. If you're a beginner artist and would like to learn the dance of painting better, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my future videos. Art is something that is supposed to be shared with others. It brings us joy, and it brings me joy to share my painting techniques and my skills with others. In my next video is the tutorial of this painting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!